Okay, welcome back, mathematicians. Hopefully you stood up and stretched a little bit, got your brain relaxed, and let's start with the second half. We're actually mostly done. We have 2 more examples and then we'll move on. Okay, converting now mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we're going to start with the whole number and the fraction and turn it into improper. Now to do this, we will start with some basic numbers. Again, I'm always going to split it in half so I can give you 2 examples. Okay, so let's start with 4 and 1/2. Now, to turn this into a mixed number, I am going to start with the whole numbers. I do notice that I have 4 wholes, so I'm going to draw 4 holes. Now, even though, because remember, this is 4 plus 1/2, right? Even though I have 4 holes, I have to have another hole for this part of it. Okay? Now, my denominator still tells me what to cut my holes into. So, even though this is 4 holes, I do have to cut them into halves. So I'm going to go in and cut all of them into halves. Now, I do have 4 holes, so that means I do color in all of these 4. Okay, so this is a 2/2. This is a 2/2. This is a 2/2, and this is a 2/2. Now, my last one is the half, so I'm only going to color in one of them. Now, we're going to get into adding fractions a little bit later, but you're going to notice I'm only going to count the pieces that I'm talking about. My whole number is still cut into 2. I can't change that. I'm not talking about all of these pieces. I am just talking about what I cut my one hole into, and that is a 2. Now I'm going to count how many I shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 halves. So now I know that 4 and 1/2 is the same thing as 9 halves. Notice I just did 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 8. Plus 1 more is 9. Let's try this one more time. And please, if you need to, stop the video, rewind, and watch it again if you want to make sure you know what what's going on here. Okay, 1 3/4. Now, to turn this into an improper fraction, I first think about my whole number. I have 1 whole number. But then I also have a piece of a whole number. So I've got to draw a hole for that piece. Now that I know I have 1 hole and I have a chunk of another hole, I've got to figure out what I cut my hole into. I'm cutting my hole into 4. So I need to do that for both of them. Now we know that we have 1 hole, so I have to color all of this one in. Then I need to color in 3 of the 4 in the second chunk. So 1, 2, 3. So let's look at what we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4/4 and I have 3/4. So to write an improper fraction, remember the denominator is always how many I cut 1 hole into. I cut 1 hole into 4 pieces. My numerator is how many pieces I've colored in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7/4. So now I know that 1 3/4 is the same thing as 7/4. Okay, we're going to practice. I'm going to do, I wish I had drawn you guys a little table here, but all I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you kind of cut them into thirds. Okay, and then cut in half. Now I am going to give you a picture, and you can just write a P if you want to, or you can just not write the word at all. Just draw what I draw. I'm going to draw some circles. I'm going to cut them into thirds. And I'm going to do some shading. I want you to tell me what's the improper fraction and what is the mixed number. What are the 2 ways that you can write this? I'm going to let you pause the video and do that. And after you've done that, I am going to go ahead and give you I'm going to give you a mixed number. I'm going to give you 3 1/2. I want you now to go back and do the improper fraction and draw the picture that goes along with it. Once you've completed that, then I want you to come down here and you're going to review what we've learned in our 2 mini lessons, the one from yesterday and the one from today. If you need to, go back and take a look at your notes, and you can finish off my sentences and give examples. As you're working on these, I'll be walking around the room to see if you need any support. Good luck. I know you've got this.